Yesterday, I planted this 3 container. Okay, right here, that's planted with taro roots. As you can see right there in the middle, that one is already showing. And I believe that smaller pot right there, I planted 2 potatoes, which were in my kitchen. It started sprouting, so I went ahead and planted in there. And what's planted in? Oh, right in here, I planted some more yam. Okay, we still have a lot of yam to plant, but here's another container that we planted yam into. Now, a lot of the crops that I'm growing in my garden, you might consider them as survival crops. Like right here, this taro, I'll show you a better growth anyway. Okay, so I realized that not everybody have a good um, enough space in their yard to grow a lot of things they would like to grow. But as you can see, this is something I have been doing for over 10 years now. I would say we used to till this entire area. We used to have what's that, front tiller or rear I forgot what it called, that tiller we used to have. We used to till this entire area here. My friend came here with his tractor first, and then we bought a tiller, and that's what we used to do. And then I realized, as my goal is to have organic garden, I realized that what I'm doing there is really not a very good practice as far as trying to grow organic and healthy vegetables. And so I stopped doing that, besides for the fact that we do have a lot of problem with gophers, moles. So we started adopting the raised bed method, okay? And the rest of them, partially raised, partially container, and partially buried directly to the ground. And we also do a lot of container gardening, which I have been using for a good long while now. So for those of you who do not have a good amount or a good area to plant whatever it is that you'd like to plant, you take a look at these things. I have been planting my taro and harvesting taro root and a lot of other root crops in a container. And you can grow a lot of vegetables that can sustain you. That's one thing about these crops that I'm showing you. Taro root is one among those plants that can last a while before you harvest it, and it's always there for you. If you don't harvest it, it will come back again. And if you happen to live in a zone like I do, where we do get cold weather here and everything goes into dormancy during winter and then come back again in springtime, a lot of these crops can stay inside the container or under the ground and grow again, or you can harvest it late in winter or when you need it, and then it'll come back again come springtime. So container gardening is another option that you could have if you want to plant anything. And taro root is one of those crops that you can consider a good survival vegetable and plant vegetable to plant in your garden. Another thing, which is definitely an excellent crop, are this. These are the true yams. This is the purple variety we called ube in the Philippines. These are called ube. And these are the true yam, which is the Dioscorea alata, and those are the white variety right there starting to peek out. Let me show you a bigger one right here. These are not the purple type of yam. These are the white yam called nyami in Puerto Rico. And these are an excellent survival crop. This can stay in the soil a lot longer than most of the root varieties, root crops you could plant, such as potatoes. This yam can actually last here for until close to 2 years and harvest them. Okay, so another good crop to plant that will sustain you for a good while is the yam. Okay, so I showed you the yam, the taro, which are a very good survival type of crops. Very good to sustain you if you plant a good amount of this. Remember, if you want to check out my older videos, we actually harvest well over 100 pounds in this raised bed alone, right here. This is my longest raised bed. We harvested well over 100 pounds of yam in here twice already. Okay, this is a very, very good kind of root crop you could plant in your garden, and you will always have seeds to plant for the next year. Okay, I might be offering some of this come sometimes late this year, maybe towards January, even December, January to February. I'm considering offering some of this yam to a lot of people who might be interested in, so be on a lookout for that. I really would like to share this, simply because at this present situation that we are in, I realize that most people would be very concerned to have something to fall back on. I mean, stores, grocery stores are being depleted with a lot of the necessities. Vegetables are getting very, very expensive, and a lot of them hard to find. And so a lot of people are conscious about starting their garden. And I will suggest that this is one of the things that you could plant are the root crops, root vegetables. These are the purple variety of yam, which are the true yam from Dioscorea alata family. As you can see right here. And let me show you another root crop, which it's got a good storage and shelf life, and which these two, most of you are very familiar with. Okay, so here is the true sweet potato that belongs in the morning glory family. It doesn't have any yet, but when it starts blooming, I will show you why this is considered a plant that belongs to the morning glory family. The blooms, you will notice, will be pretty much looking like a morning glory flower. Okay, so this is not a yam like most people, like some people calls this. This is actually the sweet potato, and there's a bonus in this root crop here. I would not suggest that you harvest the tops. It's so tempting to harvest them now. They are looking very healthy, clean, nice and green, and it's a very healthy, nutritious type of greens that you could harvest. But the thing is, I would discourage you from harvesting that now, because if you want it to develop roots, you have to let it do its thing. The leaves must nourish the roots underneath the ground in order for it to grow. Okay, so try not to harvest your sweet potato tops, unless that's all you want it for is the greens or the vegetable that the young sweet potato top provides. I mean, these are perfect vegetable, okay, perfect greens. But if you want your tubers to grow, you want to leave them alone, and when you harvest the roots of the sweet potato, I promise you, you will have more than enough for you and some neighbor that like to share your sweet potato greens. You will have more than enough, okay? So that's another good root vegetable that you can plant and can last a good while in storage, okay? Another thing is which 99.9% of us knows is this potato. These are the regular potato, like Idaho potatoes and all of that. Some of them are from our harvest last year. And some of them started sprouting in the kitchen. So what we do is we plant them. I have two big containers in there. One contains something like a golden potato something, and the other one is red potato. So that's what we have here, the red and the yellow or the white potatoes, okay? These are these are some perfect crops that anyone could grow that would last a good while in your storage, in your cellar, whatever you might have. I do not have a cellar, I wish I have. And this can be stored for a good while, okay? Sweet potato, regular potatoes, and yam, and taro. Now, another thing I forgot to tell you is that just like the sweet potato, taro are not only harvested for the root. Like, you know, in Hawaii, they make this famous dish they called poi. They also have this dish called lau, and in the Philippines we call it laing. Now, laing and lau are made from the leaves and the stalk of taro, okay? The whole thing, the whole part of this plant are also edible, okay? So taro, another good thing. You could eat the leaves and the stalks, and you can harvest the tuber underneath the root and made a very good meal out of it. Likewise, I can't remember who told me, but apparently the leaves of the yam are also edible. But since I had never ventured on this before, I would just leave it as that, mention that it was said to be also an edible part of the yam, okay? I never tried any. I had never eaten yam leaves, but it was considered to be edible. Oh, I got another survival crop that I could show you, okay? I am inside the greenhouse, and in here we're still working. We're not done planting in here. We are still organizing this place, but I want to show you another root crop which is excellent to grow. These are called cassava. You will notice that in between these are squash plants here. In between each squash plants, I planted cassava. You see, cassava grows into a long, woody stems, and when that goes up, I look forward for some of this squash to just use it and climb on it. So then I will have a I've seen people eat the leaves of cassava. So I know for sure that cassava leaves are also edible. And then underneath is the cassava root, which is the best part of this plant, okay? This is another great survival type of root crop you could plant and can also be stored a relatively good amount of time storage. Okay, so that's another cassava there in between this squash plant. Okay, I just can't end this video without taking a shot of this. This is so gorgeous. It's beautiful. I have to share it with you. This is, I believe the name they gave me was strawberry guava, and it's gorgeous, just gorgeous. It's loaded with beautiful flower, as you can see, and finally, I'm so happy my husband put some bird netting around it, because last time it was looking like this, beautiful with lots of blooms, and then a few days afterward we came back and all the blooms were gone. So I don't know if the squirrel or something else ate them, but apparently something loves the bloom and start eating them before it could even mature enough into a guava. But take a look at this guava bush I have here. It's beautiful. It is loaded with beautiful flower. See if we could focus on it. My camera is not good for focusing anymore. I don't know. It might be me. I already forgotten how to handle my camera. But it's beautiful, as you can see. Lots and lots of beautiful blooms. And I'm hoping that these blooms would mature into the actual guava fruit. However they might look like us. I have not had the chance to taste any of it, and I had not been able to harvest any guava from here, or any fruit. So I'm hoping that this year we might be able to do that. Okay, for now I'm going to end this video with a shot of my guava blooms. As you can see, beautiful blooms, and say thank you so much for watching. And for all of my subscribers, with all my heart I send you my gratitude.